He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor Show. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the Gadget Professor. We are on episode 175. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I couldn't get the show up last night, but here I am today, and I've got a super episode with a very cool gadget, so let's get right into it. Of course, you can follow the Gadget Professor on his new webpage. That would be thegadgetprofessor.com, and if you scroll down to the right side of the page, you'll see the newsletter there. Just click on the newsletter and put your email address in, and every Thursday evening, sometimes Friday, as soon as the episode is posted in your in-basket, you will receive the show notes, which are totally free, and you can click on anything in the show notes and it will bring you to a hot link, which is what we discussed in the show. So all the information that we talked about, you don't have to write down. It's all in the show notes, and you will want the show notes for this week's episode because we've got a ton of free apps for you, and I think you'll be very pleased. Also, you can follow me on Facebook. That would be Facebook.com/The Gadget Professor. Hopefully you'll like us, and we post all kinds of stuff on there. I just posted 119 degrees picture of my outdoor thermostat on the Facebook page there. I got some pictures that I took in high def of Rhode Island. I got a cactus there that I shot in high def right here in my backyard in Scottsdale, Arizona. And last but not least, you can follow us on the Gadget Professor's Rebel Mouse page, which essentially is a compilation of Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Gadget Professor, and of course you can email me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. Check out our Rebel Mouse page. It takes all our tweets and makes a pictorial out of them. And you can just click on the article and it shows every new gadget that's come out in the last hour, really, and it's dynamic, so it's constantly changing, and there's some really cool things. So if you like gadgets, check out the Rebel Mouse page. Well, let's get into it today. We will start off by talking about some hacking news, and it seems that the Home Depot was hacked by a previously unseen Mozart malware strip of code, which was disastrous. And as the days go by, the Home Depot hack, if you will, is getting worse and worse and worse, and federal security agencies are actually warning all businesses that there's a very high probability that this Mozart malware is on a lot of machines. So I'll have the article here is on the Wall Street Journal, and it makes an interesting read and a scary read. Also, this week we have Jimmy John's. I've never been in a Jimmy John's, but they say it's pretty good. They're all over Arizona. One of these days, when I'm real hungry, I'll have to stop in. But I won't use my credit card because 5 India area Jimmy John's sandwich shops have been hacked. And I venture to say that as the week goes by, there'll be more than 5 in Jimmy John's that have been hacked. So it's getting nuts. I think I read an article yesterday that said 43% of all businesses, medium-sized and large-sized businesses in the United States have been hacked. 43%. It's probably more than that. It's probably double that. But let's roll on here. Got to push the tab to roll on. Talking about hacking and virus stuff, there's a new one out called Bash. This software bug is going to be bigger than the Heartbleed, which was enormous as it was. A newly discovered security bug in the widely used piece of Linux software known as Bash could pose a bigger threat to computers than the Heartbleed virus did. And this surfaced in April, and they just made the warning just this past Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security, the United States Computer Emergency Readiness Team, issued an alert saying the vulnerability affected Unix-based operating systems, including Linux, Apple, and the Macintosh. The Heartbleed bug allowed hackers to spy on computers but not take control of them. However, this virus is going to take over basically your SQL server, as I understand it, your Open SSL server. That's pretty scary. And basically what I'm talking about, for those people who aren't familiar with programming, is that anytime you have a database, it's typically operated on a base language, which is Linux. And Linux, for the most part, has been unpenetratable and does not have viruses. And then on top of that, they'll load Windows or the Mac kernel, whatever the next level is of software. So they're actually attacking the root of the software and putting in just one little line of code and creating havoc. So you got to be careful. What can I tell you? Now, this is really cool. Everybody's heard about Amazon's drive to use drones to deliver a product. I'm fortunate because I live in Arizona and there's a monster-sized warehouse. One of these days I'm going to call them and ask them if they'll give the Gadget Professor a tour, and I could bring in my camera just to see how they do it, because if I order something on Amazon, I have 2-day delivery as it is with the Prime membership, but I'm really lucky because usually if I order before noon, I'll get it the next day, which is just insanity. And they're very accurate and precise. Now, it seems that DHL is starting to deliver medicines via drone, and this is something to watch. There's a picture of the drone, and this is in Berlin, but DHL AG said it would use a drone to deliver medicine to a German island in the North Sea, marking the first drone routine delivery to customers and another step in the rapid advancement of this technology. I think drones are here to stay. There's a great little video here. Again, I'm not going to run it, but you can check this out on the show notes. But I think drones are here, and it's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. And it will be interesting to see how it affects our lives. I mean, I could see a lot of good uses for it in terms of delivering medicine. There may be situations where you have elderly people or people who are handicapped, and they'll just take the drone and drop the food or whatever they need right in their front porch. They can do that type of accuracy. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing, and I also think that they should test these drones out first in South Boston, because if there's a way to get them out of the air, they'll find it out in South Boston. They'll find out how to do that. So everybody's heard a lot about the iPhones, and they've sold a little bit over 10 million iPhones. That's a lot of iPhones in the last couple days, and now there's a lot of people starting to complain. Obviously, one problem was the 8.01 software that they actually had to pull off, and now there's a new update out, 8.02, which you can download, which hopefully will solve the problems. I will say this about Apple: when there's a problem, for the most part, they are really on top of it and pretty much upfront about it. Now, with regards to the bending of the phone, it's kind of interesting. They've sold 10 million, and Apple says that they've only had 9 complaints out of 10 million customers, only 9 complaints of the phone bending. I'm having a rough day pronouncing words today, but in any event, the phone bends in at least 9 people's pockets, and they're pretty upset about it. Now, I followed the internet as best I can with articles about it, but what I haven't been able to determine is even though the phone bends, what happens is I believe it still works. And I haven't seen any articles or anybody mentioning that if it bends, it breaks, or if it bends, it doesn't work. Now, obviously, you don't want a phone that has ripples in it, but I'm sure they'll replace the 9 phones that have bent, and it will be interesting to see what they do, because if that is affecting the operation of the phone, they're going to have a lot of problems, and it's not a cheap thing to replace 10 million phones. So my guess is if it becomes to be a real problem, which I don't think it will, they'll come out with some kind of case that you can buy for $5 or something that will keep it rigid, but that defeats the whole purpose of the sleekness in design. So we shall keep an eye on that and see what happens. It's pretty interesting. I have not purchased my iPhone yet. I am still using my Galaxy 3 Droid phone, and I do plan to get an iPhone, and I think I'm up for a new phone in right around Black Friday-ish. So we shall see. Moving right along, this week we have a monster show for you with apps. Now, typically I pick out the apps and say, this is a good app, this is a good app. But what I'm going to do this week is both for the iPhone and for the Droid system, I'm going to let you pick out your own apps. here at BGR, and this will be in the show notes, you're going to get $57 worth of awesome paid iPhone apps that you can now get for free. There's actually 6 apps, and this changes, I guess, daily. So I'll put up this site, and you can check. There's some games in here. There's some video editing software. There's some cool apps here. There's 6 of them. They usually cost money. They'll be free. And check that out and see if there's something there that you like. Now, not to forget my the Droid fans. I will be coming up in 1 second with a ton of free Droid apps. But right now, PC Mag has a great article on the 50 best iPhone apps for 2004. So this goes through the ones that they felt were the best apps for the year so far, and it makes a good read. And there's probably some apps in there that I think you'll find useful and want to use, so you'll check that out. And now, for my Android friends, we have 165 Android apps that came out this summer or were available this summer, and you can just browse all you want and check out all the free apps that are available and what might help you and what might not. So you can go shopping for free on the Gadget Professor. Now, last but least, well, I guess it's not last, but rolling right along, no more robo. And have you ever gotten an annoying call? I get them all the time. Now, a couple of years ago, they passed laws that prohibited companies from calling you and trying to sell you something on the phone. So now they don't call you, but you get the research companies calling, which drives me insane. So this particular app, it's actually a website that you'll log on to, is finally no more annoying robocalls and telemarketers. This is all free, and so far they've stopped over 8 million robocalls. It's easy, it's flexible, it's accurate, and best of all, it's free. There's a video here. I won't take up the time in the show to run it, but you can check it out for yourself, and all you got to do is just sign up, and it's got a lot of very high quality reviews for this particular app. So if you're tired of getting those types of calls, and robocalls is also blocking political calls, and just for that alone, I think it's worth it. So check that out. Now here's a gadget that I came across that's at a reasonable price. I do not own one of these yet, but I'm thinking of getting one to test it out. It's only $32, and what I like about it is it's 10,000 milliamps, which is a pretty beefy type of remote power supply. Of course, these power supplies are used to give you reserve power for any type of cell phone that you have, and with 10,000 milliamps, you're actually going to have enough to recharge your tablets. Your iPad tablets, both the mini and the larger one, with no trouble, and also your Droid tablets. So I would check this out. It's called Just Deals. I don't know how long the deal will be out for, but I will put it in the show notes, and it looks like it's well made. Now, what I particularly like about it is not only is it powerful, but it's solar. So that if you are outside or camping or doing something in the outdoors and there's sun, this will recharge itself. It also will recharge itself via a power pack too. So you're just not limited to the sun. And it comes with, as I said, a large charging capacity of 10,000 milliamps, which is good. It carries enough power to charge phones over 5 times on a single charge. So if you charge this power pack up once, you're going to get 5 total recharges on pretty much any smartphone that's out there. Its rapid charge output has 2 USB ports, and it will charge faster because of the technology that they have incorporated in the USB ports. At least that's what it's telling me. And this also, as I mentioned, charges via power connection or the solar panel. So that makes it doubly convenient and ideal for camping, power outages, things like that. Has an LED indicator to show you how much juice you have left, and it comes in black or blue. So if you're in the market for a power supply, a beefy one, and one that works not only on electric but solar recharge, 10,000 milliamps for $32 seems like a pretty good deal to me. And now, I've mentioned these apps a couple times. They're scanner apps for police radios and also for weather alerts, emergency alerts. But they've just come out with a new update, and this is called Scanner Radio Deluxe. And this is for the iPhone. It's totally free, but it's a new version. It's 1.4.4. And if you have it, update it. If you don't have it, get it. It's free. You will enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and you can listen to the police scanners for free all over the country, actually all over the world. So you might as well check it out. And also for the people who have the Droids, you can use Scanner Radio. It's not been updated recently, but check this out. It does a lot of things. There's over 4,700 fire and police scanners that you could listen to, and amateur radio, all for free. So they're a lot of fun to listen to, and sometimes if you can't get to sleep at night and you're tired of listening to the radio or watching TV, you can put the scanner on, and I assure you that will put you to sleep. But it's interesting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the gadget of the day, and the gadget of the day is the Bose QuietComfort 15 acoustic noise canceling headphones. And right here is what they look like, and they have a couple new features, and I must say that I have an older pair, which I'll show you in a minute, but these are what the headsets look like. They go over your ear, which is better than going in your ear, so they're going to fit on like that, and you get immediately, just with nothing turned on and no music going into it, just the cushions alone on your ear absolutely deafen the sound quite a bit. They're not even turned on. Now, if you're going to turn them on, that's pretty simple. There's a power switch, which would be located right here, and there's a little button here. You turn that on. I don't know if you can see the green light, but green indicates that it's on, and obviously you could turn it off. Now, another nice feature of these headsets is that they have a plug that you can replace. So if this plug cord gets messed up or lost or whatever, you can just buy a new one, and it basically just plugs right in here. That's a nice feature because these things don't last forever. Another new feature that they had compared to the older phones is they have an inline volume control, which is very handy, and also it's a microphone, so you're able to take calls on pretty much any smartphone through these acoustically dampening noise canceling headsets. And at the other end, they have a mini jack, and here's the case that they come in. And I don't like the case, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but it also comes with a place to put your business card, because you will leave these on an airplane, you will lose them, I guarantee you that. And it also comes with an adapter jack, and the adapter jack is kind of neat. You have a phone plug adapter, so it will go in any device that has a phone plug adapter, and it also comes with an adapter. You can unplug this. This adapter will actually be used on an airplane. You actually can plug in and plug your headset into here, and you will get phenomenal sound. Now let's talk a little bit about the specifications of these new units and some of the features that actually make it, I think, pretty good. Supposedly this is Bose's best noise canceling headset that they've ever made. So it's called the QuietComfort 15. These noise canceling headphones are quieter than ever and offer a more comfortable around the ear fit. A single AAA battery delivers 35 hours average of playing time, and these ear cups fold up neatly and go into a small, slim case, which I just showed you. Now let's take a look at where the battery is actually located. I know it's black, and I know the lighting's not good because I'm not in the studio, but there's a little pressure point here that you just press on, and essentially what's going to happen is the battery here will just pop out. Again, I don't know if you can see this, but there's the battery section right there, and the battery is like so. So what I like about this, opposed to the other batteries that went into the older one, which I'll show you, is this is a standard off-the-shelf battery. So if this is going to give you 35 hours, you're going to fly all the way around the world and still have power, and if you run out, you just use a standard battery. So that's pretty nice, and the battery just very simply just drops in like this into the case, and that's pretty much it. And then you're just going to close that up. So that's all there is. Now, what I like about these is there's no question that I've tried a lot of these noise canceling headsets. Bose makes an excellent high quality product to begin with. They always have. And they're actually located in Framingham, Massachusetts. And I've been to the facility many times. One of my offices was actually in Natick, Massachusetts. So I was very close to the Bose company and did some work for them, and actually met Dr. Bose. And their products are quite good, and they last a long time. The only problem that I'm having, and it's not a problem and I know it will go away, is they're labeled left and right. for your ear, but when they go over your ear, they feel great. When I put these in, when I plug these in, I can't let you listen to it, obviously, because it's an earphone. It's a headphone. But the dampening and the noise quality and signal strength, the bass response, the treble is phenomenal. These are, in my opinion, hands down, the best noise-canceling headphones that are on the market. The quality of the sound is excellent. On a plane, I don't hear the plane engine whatsoever. I don't hear anything except the music or the movie that I'm listening to. And also the sound effects in the movies just come out of nowhere. So they've really done an excellent job of noise canceling and also providing high-quality frequency response at the same time. Now, when I initially put them on, they were very, after 20 minutes, they seemed like really tight and almost too tight. Now, you can adjust them. You can actually take them and, make them larger or smaller, and I've done that. And what I found, what happens with most headsets is that after using them several times, they actually loosen up a little bit. Not that they're going to fall off your ear, but they become more comfortable. Now, to show you the difference in design, this is an old pair. This pair is probably 10 years old, and this was one of their first forerunners. Obviously, they've made improvements, but they look the same. The difference is that the cups on the new one are completely covering your ear, where these just didn't cover the ear itself. They just rested against the ear. So sorry about that. So that wasn't a great thing, but again, this was 10 years ago. The two biggest features that they've improved on is the battery on this phone, the older one, is just horrible. This is what it was. Not a standard battery. When I got this lasted maybe 2 hours. Within 3 months, it lasted an hour. You can't recharge this on the plane. You got to buy extra ones. Right now, they're getting tough to find and old, and I just didn't like this part of it because it won't even go on a flight from San Francisco to Boston. It wouldn't make it. It would run out, and pain in the neck. So I'm glad that they changed the battery over to a standard AAA battery. These old ones, this was a different type of plug. I've never had to replace this in 10 years, so I can't say that they were made bad. The other overall phenomenal improvement has been in the sound canceling, the noise canceling functionality of the headset. The new ones are absolutely superb. I have not one complaint about them, and I've tried the Panasonics, I've tried Sony's, I've tried everything. These are hands down the best. They're also probably hands down one of the most expensive headsets on the market. Now, I did mention, we'll get into that in a second, but I did mention the case. They've never changed the case. The case is pretty much the same, and it's just, to me, it's a horribly inconvenient case. They have two pre-molded fabric bumps here, if you will, and the headsets just fold on to the bumps. Like you can see already, I'm fumbling with it, so they fit in there, the wire goes in there, and it zips up. It's compact, but you know what? It's a real pain in the neck, the case itself, to carry them in. I use it, but I wish they would have given us some type of a little duffel bag, canvas bag that you could put DVD movie in if you want, or your tablet in, some type of a better case. For the amount of money they charge, I think they certainly could have done a better job and should do a better job with the case. But you're not buying the case, you're buying the headsets. Now, if you're buying the headsets, how much do they cost? Well, these initially listed for, let's see here, we'll go on Amazon, 300 smackers. That's a heck of a lot of money to pay for a headset, $300. Now, they are on sale at Prime for $249.96 at Prime at Amazon, and you can get them in 2 days because you have the Prime subscription if you do. And that's a good deal. Are they worth $249? You know what? If you travel a lot, or if you're really into music, or you want the ability to have some quiet time, if you have kids running around and a lot of noise, and you just want to put on your headsets and relax and hear crystal clear sound, the noise canceling is impeccable, there's no hiss, yeah, they're probably worth it. If you're just occasionally listening to music and you're not really into it, they're not. But if you're on a plane, I really want these because the noise drives me nuts, and I can't sit for 5 hours anyway. So I put the headsets on, I put a movie on, and I'm okay. So that's your decision whether you like them or not. Now I'll show you something here that's interesting. Bose has said that these are the best headsets they ever made, and I believe it. But if you go to Newegg, Newegg.com, you'll see the Bose QuietComfort 15's QC15, which is what I just showed you, noise canceling headsets, refurbished. These are refurbished for $200. So you'll save $100. Now, the old question is, should I buy refurbished or not? I do buy refurbished equipment all the time. I can honestly say I have never, that I can remember, ever had a problem with anything that I've bought that was refurbished. I will tell you, if you have a problem, you need to do something about it immediately, because typically the warranties on a refurbished unit typically are not the same. They might be 30, 60, or 90 days. You have to check. However, I did purchase these phones refurbished, which means they've been returned to the factory or to an authorized factory rep, and any component that was defective, they've replaced, they've sanitized them so they're clean. You're not putting on someone else's headsets. And if you're interested in a pair, I don't think you'll find a cheaper price. And they're also sold in other places refurbished for the same amount of money, for $200. I also believe that Bose has now discontinued these, because I don't see them on their webpage anywhere. So they've moved up to I believe a 25 model. So here's headphones. Let's go to noise canceling. Wow, this is going faster than I can click. So I'll go to headphones, noise canceling headphones. And as you scroll down, you see the earbuds, and now you see the QuietComfort 25 for $300. So I certainly wouldn't pay $300 for the new ones, but I would pay $200 for the older models. I don't know what the changes are, if anything. I've looked over the specs. They look exactly the same, but it's time for a new model. What can I tell you? So you make the choice. They work great. I've never had a problem with Bose. Their customer service is excellent, and I think you won't be unhappy if you bought the the QC15s for $200. I think they're a great value and sound really, really nice. So that will wrap it up today for the Gadget Professor. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday night. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor, or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.